Hi there, we're back in atCAMS and I have Michael Ramatlia from Capital Mazda in Cary, North Carolina, and he's here to show us this beauty right here, the Mazda CX-9. Michael, what you can tell us about the Mazda CX-9?
This is the completely redesigned 2016 CX-9. I mean, they redesigned this car from the ground up. I mean, from the rims all the way up to the body structure. If you look at this going down the road, you'll notice this does not look like your traditional Mazda. It's because it's not. We brought this out to be more of a luxurious vehicle without that luxurious price tag.
Okay.
You know, you come into the vehicle, you step in here, and you look at this, and this is not your traditional cockpit of a vehicle. This is the extension of you when you sit in this seat. You have your 8-inch touchscreen. You have your steering wheel, which isn't oversized for a SUV. You have the, you know, all the controls, the gadgets, the gauge cluster. It's simplified, but yet elegant. So you're not getting all that, you know, confusion when you're driving the vehicle how to work something. That's the nice thing about it. You sit in the car and it's just relaxing. It's fun to drive. Here, you have your Mazda navigation. Yes, I said Mazda navigation. This isn't TomTom, this isn't Garmin, this is Mazda. That loads up there. You're also gonna have your home screen. It is not integrated with tons of buttons to press and worry about. You only have these 5 different buttons. Everything from applications, music, entertainment, your communications, your cell phone, navigation, and your settings. That's it.
Simple as this. This is a driver's car, guys. Mazda is on its own class just because they don't have a luxury brand like Lexus and Toyota, Acura and Honda, Infiniti and Nissan. Mazda is on its own class. They produce the best driving cars in one sole brand. And that's great because not many brands can do that on their own. They have to rely on, oh, this batch will sell more than this previous batch. And Mazda rely on their own. So what else you can tell us, Mike?
Well, when you're sitting here also, you look at the steering wheel, we have radar cruise control on this model. This is the CX-9 Grand Touring. You have radar cruise control, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, smart brake support, smart city brake support. This car will actually stop itself if it detects an accident.
Wow, that's awesome. That's one of the features that is here to stay. I think that will be mandated soon by the federal government, like they are doing with the backup cameras in 2018. It will be mandated. I think that radar detection is one of the most clever ideas that the auto industry have developed in cars.
The back seats of the Mazda actually fold flat, but when you want to access this third row, that's one of the big questions on how you do it. A lot of other manufacturers you'll see out there in the past have had, this is how you're going to get in the back seat. Your kids are going to put their feet on the back of the seat and they're going to get it. Mazda, I gotta say, did that in the past also, but not anymore. So what you're gonna do is there's a little lever on the top of the seat, you're gonna pull that. As you notice, the seat just tilted down.
Okay.
So now if your front seat is far enough, you have a child seat here, you don't have to take that seat out in order to get people into the third row. And then you're gonna have your child seat that's still gonna be sitting right here.
Okay.
And now you have plenty of room to get into this back third row.
So, and you have rails here that will accommodate anyone who's in the back seat. We are big guys. Mike and I'm 6 foot tall, Mike is like 6'2", and I was climbing here, and the leg room for the both of us is pretty good. He's 6'2", easy. That seat and the front seat was set up for him to sit comfortably, and now he's in the back seat. I'm also in the back seat, and if you guys can tell, I have like at least 3 inches off the frontal seat on my driving position, which is pretty relaxed. I don't like to sit very up straight.
You know what's also kind of cool about these seats too is that you'll see a lot of fixed seats in the middle, like you were saying. When you have, if I want to sit up straighter, I can sit up straighter.
Okay.
If I want to recline, I can recline back. So on the long trips, the kids aren't going to be like, Mom, I want to go to sleep. Dad, I want to go to sleep. Well, recline back and go to sleep then.
That's awesome. This is not your regular soccer mom SUV or soccer mom minivan, because this is a crossover, and this crossover has been successful since its introduction.
Now I told you I had a 4-cylinder, you know, earlier, but it's not your typical 4-cylinder. Everyone hears 4-cylinder large SUV, they're thinking dog.
Yes, sir.
This is a bullet. This car will drive. You will enjoy driving this car, whether you're taking it to the mountains or you're driving around the streets of a major city.
That's
this
awesome.
vehicle will move. You hit that gas pedal, you go.
That's true.
And you can tow up to 3,500 pounds with it.
That's awesome. You can carry your trailer, your small boat, or jet ski, take it to the lake. That's an amazing thing to do. Hi there. We are now inside of the Mazda CX-9 Grand Touring. This car is magnificent. When you get to listen to this engine, listen to that. That's the exhaust note. I have my high unit display high on top of my view. I got a perfect sitting position right here. And for what you guys can see on the Mazda CX-9, it is a very, very, very comfortable car, and it's set up to be like a sports car, but for 7 passengers. Without further ado, we're gonna take off in the Mazda CX-9. We're gonna accommodate our view, and we're ready to go. So, what I can say right now about the Mazda CX-9, I used to own one, so I know how does it feel to drive a 7-passenger car Mazda CX-9. My model was the Grand Touring also from 2010. And when I had that Mazda, it was one of the best cars I ever owned. Why? Because it's not just comfortable, it's not just luxurious. It is a pleasure to drive it. It has this driving dynamics that you can only experience in a sports car. This car is a very big car. It fits 7 passengers in the back, and you can tow up to 3,500 pounds while you have your 7 passengers in it. How does it feel to drive a CX-9 in the city? Like a regular normal car. However, the CX-9 do have this extra power. Let's go around here. We're gonna take the highway. And it has a hump because the torque of the Mazda CX-9 is in the mid-range. 310 pounds-feet of torque. Plenty and enough to go around town with no problems. You will not feel the turbo lag in this car, especially if you drive it in a normal condition. The only way that you may find some turbo lag in this car is if you are trying to drive it enthusiastically, and you have to be a very picky driver in order to feel the turbo lag in this car. And I am a picky driver. I love to drive cars. I love to drive natural aspirated engines, and this car feels magnificent. Let's see how it hums. That's the sound of a 2.5 turbo engine from Mazda. 245 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. What a combination. We're just gonna try to get in the highway right now. As you can see, I am a 6-foot tall guy, wide chest, wide torso. The seats are super comfortable. It has this bolstering on the side that it keeps you in place, such like a sports car. There are not too many buttons here or too many features that are bothering me while I'm driving. That's the GPS and the navigation in it. You can set up your points of interest nearby. Change view from two-dimensional, going back to the hidden buttons. Then you can go back to the home button and change the entertainment system. It has FM, AM, XM radio, AHA, Pandora, and Stitcher. You can use the Bluetooth and USB. Let's go over XM. And this is the GC with the Bose system. It's a very nice sound system. It has a Bose system as an option in the Grand Touring version, and this system is magnificent. It's like you're in your own home with a surround system. I have driven multiple SUVs. Lately, I had the opportunity to drive a luxurious SUV for over a month. And let me tell you, it was really nice on the road. But what the Mazda CX-9 is trying to bring here is not just only the experience of an SUV. It's trying to bring the experience of a race car, as a sports car, and give you the fun to drive, you have to understand that a car with 500 horsepower is gonna be another boring way of transportation if it doesn't have what it takes to have the driving dynamics that Mazda put on their vehicles. What would I say? What's wrong with this car? Let me tell you what's wrong with this car. You know what's wrong with this car? That I don't own one. That's what's wrong with this car. Mazda CX-9, I need to go back to you and revisit you over and over and over as an owner, because if I have a family of 5 or 4 or 3, or I have family visiting for an X amount of time, I should go and grab this car, because people will enjoy the pleasure of driving, of riding in a vehicle, and they will appreciate the Mazda CX-9 more. I don't know what else we can ask. I guess this. The hump, that sports car feel, you're not gonna get it with another SUV this size. You can hear the turbo spooling from the inside, so it gives you that sense of power. What an experience, guys. I don't want to stop driving this car. It's a really fun to drive car. But I have to go back to the dealership, because that's how it works. If I want to have this car for a long, long time, I just go and buy it. I cannot complain. This has been a great experience. This is a car that you have to see from first hand in order to understand what is the proposition for Mazda. It is so difficult to explain how good this car is just from the camera perspective. You have to drive this car. If you're out and about shopping for a 7-passenger SUV, you better check this one out, because you will miss out the opportunity to drive or to own one of the best sport driving SUV in the market. And when I say sport, don't get me wrong, this is not a sport harshish ride quality. This is very compliant with the most luxurious SUVs on the market. This rides very firm, but it doesn't work on you. It doesn't work on your body. Your body is so cushioned into this seat. These are molded to your body. These are like made for you. They're tailored, made for you. Not much to say. Mazda CX-9, one of the best options in the market. Thanks to the people from Capital Mazda of Cary, my friend Michael, my friend Ken Finale. These people will take care of you if you need your Mazda. And I'm telling you, service, quality, the best facilities, these people know what they're doing. This is us at atCAMS. I will say bye now, but I will see you guys next time with another amazing product. More than likely, another Mazda. Who knows? Maybe we can get to drive the Mazda Miata Club Edition. Let's ask Ken if we can grab that little car that I know is very fun to drive and it's very fun to own. I own one. See you next time.